Hey everyone, welcome back to Desert Vibes podcast, where we dive deep into topics that inspire, uplift, and helps us live our best lives. I'm your host, Dennis Kamau, and today we are going to dive more into creativity. Yeah, we are fully prepared, man. We are fully prepared. And here we have,
My name is Boni, as you know. Hello, everyone.
yeah, thank you.
I'm Emmanuel. Nice to be here today.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, thank you all. So, as we'll be diving into creativity, what do you guys think of creativity when it comes to things of filming and yeah?
I can say creativity when it comes to film. Uh, there is a lot of things that comes from it. Like, for example, for the filmmakers,
Mhm.
there is both positive and negative things, but mostly I can say it's positive things. Uh, by positive things, I can say is, as you know, most of the filmmakers, especially the producers, you find if they tell this the stories, they usually come from lower class background. But in the process of growing up, they experience a small taste of the rich side. So they have an idea of both worlds, which give them that kind of like an open mind to understand both sides and to come up with a story that everybody can relate. As you can see, most of the movies, people sit down and they, with your family, either you are rich, either you are poor, there is a part that you will relate with because you will feel like personally they are talking to you. So I can say creativity kind of like when it comes like to the filmmakers, uh, it creates employment. That is something that is coming from that person's creativity because he needs people to to play a role in whatever script that the person has come up with. And on top of that, he will be also influencing other people to come up and do something positive in their life. So that's, I can say, my take in creativity.
Can you give us an example of maybe a film that you have watched? And the, you can compare films. You know, we have a lot of films actually, and you can compare film. You say, if this film they had invested this type of creativity, it would have captured more audience compared to the audience that watched it. So, if you have an example, you can share with us, please.
I can say there is different kind of categories of filmmakers. There is someone who dwells with something like a script, of which it will be more on the fairy tale, of which doesn't fully relate with the actual world. So it will be like it's not like Harry Potter or something. Like Harry Potter is a fairy tale,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but when you are seeing, it's like provoking your emotions because you see there is a friendship created, there is betrayal going on, there is fight. So, but you'll find there is some. It's like a play. It's like this kind of movie. I think it's called Cats. Many people they gave it a bad review. Why? Because it doesn't relate with people. It's a film about cats. It's like a play that was made into a movie instead of just making a movie about cats because there is a cats and dogs. It's a movie, but in the movie, even if it's only cats and dogs, but still it provokes the human emotions because you see there is friendship and there is betrayal and there is all these kind of things. Yeah.
When you talk of cats, something else comes in my mind, but it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Cause yeah, 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 yeah. So for those who don't know, the person on my left actually is a video editor, video engineer as well. So yeah, he can tell us more when it comes to filming. I can say nothing about filming, but he knows more. Actually, he knows more. Please, can you tell us more of it?
Actually, there is very many things,
Uh-huh.
not just in film, but creativity in general, you can find I know you know this in many industries. The core, the main thing that drives most industries is creativity. Because, for example, you have talked about film. There is music, there is painting, there is photography, there is a lot of industries. Is like creativity is what drives. So when we're talking about creativity in like film, you find that, for example, most movies we've watched since we have been kids, it's like they have the same storyline, but the storyline is it's like they've each story has something added to it, such that when you watch a movie, even though you know the storyline, you want to see how it has been told. You want to see the angle, because so many movies, there is the protagonist and the antagonist.
Yeah.
So you know that one side will win, but you want to see. Let's see how they will do it. Even though you know most movies, this is how both two sides are fighting. Then you know which side will win, but still you want to see. You still want to see. Let's see in this stage, in this story. Let's see how different it will be from the rest of the movies you've watched. So not just in film. There's so all of the industries, like music. You can listen to, like, for example, music. You can find a certain genre. You can hear it's like the same beats, but when you listen to a different song, you find there's something different about the song. But you cannot tell, but you can see there's something different.
Yeah, and you can hear it
You can hear, if someone asks you between this song and the other song, you cannot tell the difference. Because creativity, there's some form of creativity you cannot tell, but only the artist can tell you what is different.
What is different?
Yeah, so
because there's this season I'm following about the house number 6 actually. So I think the film itself, the message that is there, I watched it once, I watched it twice, and the guy told me, you see the creativity that we implemented in this? I was like, which type of creativity? So the guy in front, he was reading a Bible, and the people who were behind, they were taking sips of alcohol. So I asked, which kind of creativity are you talking about? In the script, I said, I didn't read the script. No, bro, you can see it here. God first, then the other things comes behind.
Yeah.
I said, whoa. So, yeah, and there's a movie. Anyway, I have not been paid for advertising it, but we call it Prison Break. Most people have watched it.
Prison Break is like, if most times, if you want to discuss series with someone,
It's always
first of all, you always ask, have you watched Prison Break?
Yeah.
If someone recommends you a series, you can say, okay, I'll watch, but have you watched Prison Break first?
Yeah, have you watched Prison
If
Break?
you've not watched Prison Break, I will
What?
not watch. I will not watch that series you are recommending, because how can you not have watched Prison Break? Prison Break is like I don't know. I don't know.
You
how to
cannot
describe
even describe. It is ineffable, something that cannot be
Yeah.
put in words.
But
Wow.
even as for me, I'm amongst the people who did not fully watch Prison Break.
Ah,
But
but-
Supernatural.
No,
I watched.
No,
have
no,
you
no.
watched it? Supernatural.
Supernatural.
I've
I
watched
guess so.
Supernatural, but trust me, from a person who has watched Prison Break,
Yeah.
From Prison
you
Break.
cannot talk
perspective.
anything about Supernatural. First of all, go and watch Prison Break, then come and talk about
From
Supernatural.
from Prison Break. What? Point of
Prison
view.
Break for me personally. Prison Break, then 24. Jack Bauer. Then we can talk about the rest of the series.
I think because when it comes to Prison Break, so you have watched a little bit of it, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Prison Break, this is something that you cannot predict what will happen next.
Exactly.
This is something that
Exactly.
I like in this movie. You know, we watch movies, but can predict this guy will do a certain thing in the next
it
minute.
It is those kind of series that every episode is
It will
new.
keep you glued.
Okay, it is like it's new every episode.
Despite only every episode there is every sentence. The person who wrote that script, I don't know who it is, but big up, man. Big up. Because you cannot even predict a single thing that is gonna happen next.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how this guy came up with this kind of
also
of
I
a
always
script.
I always wonder how these people they write. Now because we are talking about creativity, like what is that thing that inspires these people to create such a storyline that if you think about every, like, how do you make every part it has twists?
I don't know.
It's simply,
It's creativity.
It's simply like the way I was saying. You need to have a taste of both worlds.
Yeah.
So most of the producers, what they do is they will go somewhere like in prison. They will find someone who did the worst crime or robbery. Let's just say, because Prison Break, it was the guy who was architect, was building the banks and all these kind of things, and he tattooed the bank, right? The prison,
He
right?
tattooed
He tattooed the prison,
the map
the map, yeah.
of the bank.
And then
Not
because his
is
brother,
it the bank or the
prison.
the prison,
yeah.
So that he can
and
get.
then the brother was in the prison,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he went to rescue his brother, right? I think this is the basic of the story. But what they usually do is they will go sit with someone, take that story, either in the magazine or sit with the actual person or reading the history, what happened, and then they will take that story and make it into a script and then into a movie.
So they have to put themselves in that headspace for the specific.
Exactly. So you remove yourself from this world that you are, put yourself in their shoes, see how their world is, see how they were thinking, then take whatever you got from that, come back, put into writing, and then produce. And that's why you see there is this kind of they look for the actors. They just don't go and even if someone has won Oscars and all this kind of awards, still they will have to go sit down with those producers, and the producers will say, okay, you are a good actor, but not for this.
Not for this. You're not fit for this. Yeah.
Another person may not be having a lot of awards, but the producer will say, okay, this person is the right person for this role. And also this person, when they get that role, they will also, if it's from a story, like the way I said, the example of someone who robbed, they will be given the same story, put themselves in the shoes of that person, because they will be able to give it bring it into life, to give it,
because
that
for
emotion.
them it is natural.
Yes.
It's not like someone who tries to act the role.
No, you
This
have
one
to
is
provoke
not
the emotion.
In fact, this other one is not acting.
Yeah.
He's just doing it what he has been doing.
Yeah, it's like mirroring this the person who was in this thing.
So okay.
You know, I have always wondered. There's so many fields. If you look at creativity, you'll start to wonder how is this possible. We have talked about film, but there's another field that it's always mysterious. The most mysterious thing to me, when someone takes a pencil and draws an image of a person, and it comes out, okay, not exactly, okay, we can say exactly.
Yeah, exactly the
So
same.
is this creativity or is this just talent?
This is, I think, is mostly to do with talent, because creativity is when you imagine something and you bring it to life.
But you are imagining someone and
Say
bringing it to life.
No,
Bringing
you
it
need
to
you
life.
need
Like
for
for
me-
example,
for you
Jurassic
to
Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is pure creativity, because nobody in this world ever lived in the dinosaur era. But they make it look so real that we feel like they were there. You see, this is, I can say this is pure creativity, because it's just taking a small portion of history and bringing it back to life.
I can say these people, for you to be more creative in something, it's like they do speculate things and go back to the things that were being taught or things that were being done those days, and they do something, they implement something new. They think of what can we do to make
What can we add?
what can we add on this, or what can we eliminate on this, what can we do so that this thing can turn out to be a
So
boom.
so you are saying you can be creative.
But you need
you
an
don't have to
idea.
start afresh.
No, you
You
need.
can look for a blueprint.
I don't
Yeah.
want to use this word, but I can say
Because
you
you
need
know
to
how
think
difficult
something.
it is to start to think of something completely new.
Yeah, it's very
Because
difficult. Yeah.
most of the time I used to think that is what creativity is.
No.
You come up with something completely fresh.
No, it's
It
we-
happens.
we
And
get
It
out of
happens.
that
there's nothing
era.
new under the sun.
Nowadays you'll find is, as you say, blueprint.
Yeah.
Nowadays people are just taking blueprints and modifying it. So nowadays is very hard to find someone who takes something out of the blue imagination, and he bring it to, to life. Let's say the actual thing I can say is like out of creativity, but I'm not fully sure. It's
So we
something
need-
like
we need to
Uber.
research.
Something like Uber. Something has never been there.
I think
taxi
Uber-
was there.
Taxi was
Yeah,
there.
taxi was
Yes,
there, but they
taxi
made it
was
easier.
So
there.
you
Yeah.
see, he took the blueprint of the
So
taxi
it's not
and he put
completely
it
new.
online. So it's not new. It's not a new thing. So you see,
You don't want to tell me we cannot think of something that is completely new.
okay,
We
That
can,
has not been
we can.
built from.
we can.
I think
You
you
know,
know. I think we
but-
are confusing.
But look,
Creativity.
just look at the world of today.
Yeah.
Brainstorm for a minute and tell me if there is something that totally new out of imagination have been formed without a blueprint, a system of the blueprint.
What about the internet?
Internet,
Internet is new.
the Safaricom idea.
The M-Pesa,
Mm-hmm.
the M-Pesa, well, as he said, it came from a banking system, and then he
What
made
about-
it.
He made it, but
Because-
without using their
Okay,
things.
okay.
Like
But he
let's,
had the
let's,
blueprint
let's,
of the bank,
let's find
the
something.
banking system blueprint.
Ah,
That is the blueprint.
what
And
about
now
the
you come up
internet?
with maybe you say something like Wi-Fi.
Because Wi-Fi is just wireless internet.
Yes.
Bluetooth. By the way, between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, which one came first? We need to research on
And
that.
now you see,
Why?
and now you see, you're kind of like
Between Bluetooth
helping me
and
in my
internet.
see. Bluetooth is something that can remove whatever. I don't know how you can
I
say
think
from this part
Device
to the other device, of which also televisions, right?
Signals and everything.
I think
He will have
Bluetooth-
a big satellite.
Yeah.
The signal will
Yeah,
come
yeah.
from this station
I think
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
homes.
yeah. We are just talking about wireless. It's just
Wireless,
it's
yeah.
just Bluetooth is just one form of wireless network compared to Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
But you see, internet is not like
Internet
a
is-
recent
is-
thing.
is
It's an
new.
old thing.
It's I think that is new.
It's an old thing.
How is it old?
How? Yeah. How is it?
From
Are you
from-
going to say-
from which era?
I think we need to research on that
from
actually.
which era
Are you
is
going
the
to say
internet?
We need to research.
we have been using the DAF, the DAF
No.
to send email?
No, you will find someone may say they were using before the
No, not
computers
the
were
DAF, the
accessible,
Crow.
like in the homes. You will find people were using the internet maybe in 1980s or maybe if I'm not sure, but I'm saying like that.
yes.
But you see, 1980s is old. It's
This-
not that
this-
old,
this,
but it's old. It's not something.
You know,
new.
I was to talk of AI, but AI, I read a book to do with actually it's innovation, the innovators, and AI started early before, like in 1790s, according to the book. And this lady, she came with the idea of AI, and people have been going through the AI, and actually the AI is out. And the AI itself, after researching something, they usually write there down. You can be more creative on this and add your own things. So it means it's not perfect.
So you proving my point. As I say, 1970s,
But
1980s,
still.
people are using computers. Computer is run by internet connection.
I said
So
1970s.
you said
I said 1970.
You said 1700.
Yeah,
1700.
1700. Yeah.
So if 1700, the person had if 1700, the person had the idea of the AI.
Mm-hmm. But it was.
You know, I
that
think I
used to
know
be
where
computer.
the idea of internet came from.
Uh-huh.
You know, those times they used to send the crow. Is it crow? When they put the dove. I think someone thought
they were not pigeons. They were
They
doves.
were doves.
Yeah,
They
not
will
pigeons.
send a message. Let's call it email.
We have seen
I
this
think
one
that's
in the
when
movie.
I think that's when someone thought,
Yeah,
if-
because
we can
someone was killing the
because it was smoke signal. Smoke signal.
So smoke
To-
was
to the dove.
Wi-Fi.
To the
Okay,
dove.
let's go back to those eras. What if today we were using the doves? Because I don't know how the message was reaching the other person. Because we had a lot of hunters. Nowadays,
Who was hunting doves? Seriously,
No, doves are very sweet. Have you not
But
eaten one?
which dove
I think you are the one who
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hunting the doves.
Huh?
But
You don't
imagine
know which
hunting
dove.
a dove and it has a very critical message from one kingdom to the other. That message is telling the kingdom, "Oh, we have surrendered. We don't want to fight."
You don't.
Then you hunt down the dove. So you see, you cannot hunt. I don't think they used to hunt doves.
But there is no story that describes. Maybe there is. We need to. I don't know.
I don't know. You will
But
check.
yeah, we'll have to research on that. We'll have to search it.
But you said dove is very sweet. I think you are the one who will be.
I think
first.
I have confused it with quail. I have confused it with
How
quail.
can you confuse quail with
I ate
Yeah.
I ate meat from some, and they told me this is a dove. But the picture they showed me, it was a quail. Yeah, I've eaten a lot
No,
of
we are
things.
going back to in time.
Mhm.
We have not found something that was completely new, because I think we are confusing in creativity and innovation. Because innovation, I think, is different.
Actually, you're talking of innovation.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think innovation
But
is
innovation, okay.
Innovation.
Innovation is a thought, right?
innovation.
It's a thought.
Innovation.
No, innovation is where I have an idea, but this idea it's not yet to the I can say it's not to the maximum point.
Okay.
So we need to innovate it. The same thing that happened to Microsoft and everything.
Necessity.
There was the person who came with the idea first.
Okay.
And they have been innovating the idea. We came Microsoft, then we have the AI, we have the internet, Google, everything. Now this is innovation.
So that means the person who came with the idea
Was creative.
was creative. So innovation is coming from
So
creativity.
was he innovative or creative?
Creative.
The person who came with the idea was
Is creative.
creative.
Because,
Because first he was innovative, I think.
To answer your question,
Because I think
creativity is
innovation,
something
when
new.
we think about necessity, what is innovation? Innovation is like when you have a problem, right?
Mhm.
Then you are thinking, how am I going to solve this problem? Then the problem has to go.
so the solution.
So you have to find the solution to this
Okay.
problem.
But
So
before
what
they-
do? You
No,
innovate.
I think we are contradicting
Because
ourselves.
creativity.
We are contradicting ourselves.
That's what I'm saying. Innovation and creativity,
Yeah.
the way you're explaining, is going by hand. Because, see, creativity,
It's when you
definition of
create,
it is,
you create.
is you create something from imagination, right?
Okay.
Imagination is the thought,
Yeah.
right? You imagine something and then you bring it to life. But you are saying innovation is thinking of something and then you bring it to life. So that's the same thing. That's why I'm saying, as he's saying,
I think they are cousins or something.
yeah.
Because you see, both they are involving creating.
Mhm.
But when you
Yeah,
talk
that-
of innovation and creativity, mostly creativity, if you meet a random guy, you ask him, what is creativity? Mostly they will dwell on arts and drawing, painting stuff. So we can say someone is innovative in painting. Can we bring innovation in painting and stuff?
I think
Drawing, you can
I
Maybe you
think-
can
No.
innovate a new way of
I think
painting.
A new gadget,
Yeah.
new gadgets, I mean, of painting. You can be innovative. Instead of using hand, we have an AI
but-
just drawing instead. That is being innovative. But creativity is when you put something, you come with a different, like you come with a totally new idea.
But I think during this modern
Era.
times,
Mhm.
I think we are less creative. Why?
Because of the machines,
you know,
we are
and
like
the
robots.
technology.
Before you when you were playing, you used to come up with games that are.
because
You just come up with games.
things are easy
You
now.
create like you're creating something out of nothing because
The person
you have no distractions. Right now, if you try to be creative, notification, you have message.
Not really actually something to do with a lot of distraction, but I can say something to do with comfortability. See, when you are full, right? You just want to relax, right? Maybe put your legs on the
couch
table
or-
and watch a movie, and time goes by, right? But when you are hungry, right, you start thinking of how will I eat? Okay, what do I have? Maybe I have flour, I have eggs. Okay, can I make for the Africans ugali and egg stew,
No.
or will I make this and this and that?
Back to
you know,
his point.
it's
Back
like
to
a-
his point. He
When
said
you-
something, we are becoming lazy, right?
When
Like
you
for
learn
you, when
something-
was the last time you
What?
you
When-
you
my-
you, you were creative?
My point is, when you learn something, when
Okay,
you
tell
learn
us,
something-
tell us. When was the last time you were creative in like really creative?
Because
For
for
me,
me, when I'm
it's
hungry, I just think
just to
fast food.
improve something.
Yeah.
I cannot say it's like an original thing, but my creativity and the creativity of people of today is just to improve something. You understand? You just see something and you come up with a better way of like, for example, like even for the chefs,
Yeah.
right? Before they were just presenting the food. The food is delicious, seasoned the right way. That's it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you will find they will take a tomato, make a rose from the tomato peels, make a crown from the tomato or onion, also make a crown from like the lemon or the orange, or even, and then from there, they came up with, they took this idea and now they are making like doves from cucumber and carrots. They are making flowers. They are, this kind of thing. Like before, even the cake presentation, it was just small lines, right? But now it's looking like it's a red flower on the cake.
Actually,
Yeah.
they can make a cake exactly like you.
See, this is
Exactly.
How do they do that?
That
this
is creativity.
This is someone who sat
Some
down and
some
said,
creativities
I need to
are
do something
too
different.
creative. How do you use cake icing? It's icing
Mm.
to recreate the face of someone?
So we need.
You
we
know
need
how
to
much
ask someone,
detail it
a
takes
pastry
to-
chef.
Eh?
And,
that
and
is-
also, someone saw that and came up with a simpler way of doing it. By printing something edible,
Yeah, yeah.
you see? And then from there, from the cake, some people, they see this idea, they take it, and now they put in a coffee machine.
Yeah.
So a coffee machine, you can feed it an image, and then it will, when it finish making your coffee, it will draw that image.
Not
You
like
see,
the one
yeah.
you're used to.
But if you look at the pattern of like big companies and those people who, so many big, like for example Uber, Amazon, Facebook, all these big tech companies and industries, you look carefully, you will find that it's something that they improved.
Yeah.
They improved on something. Even in business, when you look at a product, you can see two products, but one product has something extra. It will
Considered something to do with art, as he said, art, music, something like that, right?
And
But in the tech, to make it like look to separate the two words in the tech world.
Innovation.
It's still creativity,
Yeah,
but
it's
they
still
call it
creativity.
innovation.
Innovation.
It's just changing the word. So it's the innovation, that's why it's still creativity, but in this world, to separate from this world, they will call it innovation.
Creativity comes in when you want your product or your idea to stand out and to win the other ideas. I can say it's competition.
Yeah.
Competition is what drives creativity.
Yeah, you want to have something extra.
Yeah. You want your idea to stand out because let's say it's competition. When it comes to business, if you're not creative, you won't get more customers. Let's say I'm just selling a normal coffee. Boil water, put coffee, then colors. And another person is creating an image on the coffee. Which one would you prefer if you're the customer?
Obviously.
The one that has an image. So this is what is driving people. Like, yeah.
Because
The
you're
product
right.
quality has
I
increased.
was listening to one podcast. It was saying if you take any business, you add just something extra. For example, in delivery, customer care, branding, you just take a business and copy everything, but in every part you add something extra. In every part, like all parts of the business, you have delivery, you have branding, all those things. So if you just take branding, you add something extra. You take customer service, you add something extra. You are assured of doing better than that business.
Yeah, you add something better.
But also is you have to be able to know the trends. You have to move with the trends. You see, like for example, many people they came to see. Many people are taking photos and posting on social medias, right? Okay, so from there, people started coming with something that can catch the eyes. So when they create that thing, it will make you like take a photo and post.
There's this trend.
So each and every business to improve it, you have to first know the trend, and then now
It's
come
not
up with
really-
the ideas.
It's not really necessary.
There's
It's
this
not-
trend in
It's
social
not really
media.
necessary.
Mostly
Trend,
TikTok,
you know,
Instagram.
when it comes to trend and business, these are, we should not put them on the same line. Because you
But
know,
they're on
trend,
the same line.
they are on the same line. I agree on that.
Yeah.
I agree on that. But if your product is not good, despite it trending, it will be a graph whereby the wave is one big wave, then back to normal, and you just continue the small waves. You know?
But let me. I think
That
I
is a
disagree.
trend.
I disagree with that. You know why?
How? Okay,
I
I
disagree. I disagree with that.
Because for me,
No.
let me
No,
clarify
let me
this.
tell you.
Let me
one
clarify
thing you
this.
should know.
Let me clarify
Wait, one
this.
thing you should know.
I said something
It's
to
not
do
the
with,
best product in the market that makes people buy.
I understand. But do you know someone would prefer my homemade coffee, which I'm selling at $30, rather than going to purchase 10 real coffee, which is being sold outside there. Why? Because there is a value in this thing. The small thing that I have added, maybe I copied the whole idea of those people, and I'm adding some few decoratives and blah blah blah. Someone would prefer my 30 real coffee rather than taking the 10 real coffee. Why?
Listen, we have the same product, right?
Yeah.
You have the same product, but the quality is the same. Maybe even
If the quality is the same, well and good.
you can get away with a lower quality product if you are more creative, like in how you present the product. I've seen this.
It's true.
You see,
And you are assisted by the trend.
yeah, you can see there's a coffee shop. If you enter, just the way the coffee shop looks inside, if the coffee is 30 real a cup, you'll buy, because the theme, the music, the customer service, everything. When you just enter the coffee shop, I say, even though I don't buy coffee, I usually buy coffee a cup 2 real or 5 real. If the menu says 30, you will buy. Why? Because of the packaging of the product.
Ambience.
So let's say the packaging and the branding as well.
If you see coffee being sold on the streets, No one can sell to you the same coffee at 30 real, even though it's a better coffee. It's a better coffee, but the way the other coffee has been presented, you feel, I deserve, this business deserves my 30 real. You'll not even complain, even if you're used to buying coffee for 5 real.
You see, like for example,
I think you guys did not get my point, but let's continue.
okay, here we understood like
No, I
the
don't think
product,
so.
the product,
There's some few
the
things
product,
that people adjust.
the product you are saying is you are selling your product with a little additional of decoration to make it look better. Right?
You talked of trending. You talked of trends.
Yeah.
So I was clarifying the trends part, but let's continue.
But and that's why I'm saying like he was giving an example of the ambience. The ambience, see, you may be selling something of a normal quality. This quality you'll find it somewhere. Someone else is selling at maybe 5 real, and he's selling at 20 real. But people will prefer to come to his place.
Branding.
Why? Because the way he has made the setup of the place, when you enter, you feel there is like a change of emotions. Like you kind of like feel it's fancy, it's fun somewhere. You know, it's like
The feeling,
even
the
if
feeling.
they are selling the coffee
like,
at 20
like,
real,
for example,
you feel,
yeah.
and you see most of the
I
people.
was watching a video about big brands like this energy drink, this popular energy drink.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So you see the way they do their marketing or like advertising, they don't even show you the product. Most big businesses, they show you the feeling. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like Porsche, you can see an advertisement for Porsche. You see a successful young man. He just looks successful. It's not because of the Porsche. Because Porsche is trying to tell you, if you drive Porsche,
You will be someone. Yeah. So it's
so they're telling you, Porsche might not be the best car. I don't know. I have not driven a Porsche. God willing, one day I will drive a Porsche.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I got your point. I got your point.
they're making you feel,
Yeah.
wow, I need a Porsche. You see,
Yeah. So
they're showing you. It's about a feeling. I think
Yeah,
it's more about a feeling.
I think, not I think, but it's truly, I can say, I'm not sure of this, but according to my perspective, it's more of the way you feel after using the product.
Exactly.
And this is back to my point, if I may support the point, how I think of the product itself. If the quality fits me, it's okay. Because you might not be taking sugar, and I'm recommending something we call an energy drink for you to take. Will you take that energy drink? Of course not. It doesn't fit you. So if it fits me, I will truly make this thing trend, despite what? I will tell the other guy, have you taken this? Have you taken this? Man, you need to take, you'll feel like you're flying. You need to take this energy drink, you know? So, back to the point of trending, a trend, what I understand with trends, a trend is something that comes for a shorter period of time, but it booms. Then it goes back to where it was. So, to keep the business running with the trend, we said something to do with coffee. So, if I did something slight, a slight thing that maybe led to my coffee, maybe the sales going high without even doing marketing. I just changed something. This is a trend. Back to your point, the trends. So I did that and the market went high. So I have started seeing that the graph of the market is coming low, coming low, coming low. I should again continue with the trend, but change. If I used to give the service this way, I change it. Then people will start saying something to do with, you know what, they did this and this and this. Why can't you go and see? We just continue with the same. So you will continue with the same.
And this is something you should understand also. Like for a successful business, right? Okay, trending something trending is something that is catching attention of so many people, right?
Yeah.
So the word trending came from the social media, right? But even before it was like a recommendation before the social media era. So when you see something people like they like or they are talking more about it, you do it, then your business picks up, right? So when they stop talking about that, there will be another thing that people will be talking about.
But that doesn't
So-
support every business.
So you see how
It
whatever
supports a
that-
business.
whatever
not
that
all.
thing,
Okay.
it will be.
It actually, it really supports a business. You know why?
a business,
Ask
but
me
not
why.
all.
Ask me why.
Why and how?
You see, let me explain very simply. You see, social media nowadays is changing very fast, right? The way social media used to work 2 years ago is not the same way it works today. Before, it was, if you had more followers, you will get the most views. But nowadays, especially with when TikTok came, it's not more about
The
how many followers you have. It's about the content. You can have someone with 20 followers.
And getting a lot of views.
Yeah,
and
because
likes
the
as well.
video, like, it's about how the video performs, the individual video. Before, you used to have the people with the most views, no, the most followers. They will have the most views. But nowadays, actually, I think this is the time when creativity will be rewarded mostly.
Do you know?
Because if you have a good video, you're creative, whatever you're doing, automatically, if you watch a TikTok video and it's something that is crazy, you will like the video, you'll engage. What will TikTok do? They will push. So you see, the trend has changed. Before, it was about how many followers you have. Right now, we can even go viral right now.
Yeah, it's okay. I
Like,
agree. I
Going
agree with that.
viral is
I agree with
easy.
that. But when it comes to business, it's not
Oh,
about.
I was answering about business.
Uh-huh.
In business, it's about consumers, right?
Yeah, consumers.
So who are the consumers?
Your
There are
customers.
consumers are people who are online,
Mhm.
and consumers, they follow trends.
Mhm.
So if the business is using old trends, they will be left behind. See,
So you need to jump to another trend.
because if you
Not
have a
always.
business,
Not always. Yeah, trend, but
Yeah.
not based on the social media.
but social
Social
media
media
is
trends.
the like the number
Because
one
let's say-
source
Social
of.
media is helping you to know what people like.
Let me ask you.
That's what I'm talking about. Recommendation. Okay. Before social media, as I was explaining, people were talking about, okay, this thing and this thing and this thing will help you to do something much better, right?
It was
So
based on
people-
prediction.
now, when people like something to do, if it's something in the world of construction, the hardware people, they will hear people talking about this, right? They will see, okay, let's say cement company. Cement company, there is Bambore, there is Blue Triangle, but people are talking about Blue Triangle. They will not go even if Bambore is in
Yeah,
the same
good point,
price.
good
They
point.
will buy Blue Triangle, right?
Yeah.
Then people will buy.
But
And
not
then
all
people-
people.
See,
you know,
good point.
it
because-
supports
just,
different.
Just let me
businesses,
add
like,
on. Let me add on this point. Just 1 minute. You see, if you're a business and the trends are changing, right? And you're still doing the old things, it means you'll be left behind.
Yeah.
People are becoming.
That's why I
if
say-
people are becoming more creative.
That's why I
because we're
say-
talking about creativity.
That's why I say it's based on the trends. It's where you go with the waves. This thing is trending, so you just go, and you need to be aware that this thing will eventually come to.
But it might not.
Because if it's blue
It
triangle,
might not.
it might not. And why?
Mostly it does not.
So back to my point. Actually, I was to clarify this, but you. So back to my point.
Yeah.
If the quality is good, that's where you remain at the top. That's when you remain at the top.
No, I don't think.
If the quality, is good,
is a major fact. It's like we cannot discredit quality.
Yeah,
But
the
we
quality-
live-
the
we live-
quality also-
maybe the
live in
service.
a-
Let me
we
say the
live-
service.
we live in a
Let me say
world-
the
we live-
service.
We live in a world where an influencer with 20,000 viewers followers can recommend a product, people don't even care if the product is of good quality, because they are following that's why they are called influencers. They are following the influencer.
And the influencer you're talking about, the world is full of 7 billion people, right? The influencer is just being followed by 20,000 people. So, how will these 20,000 people get others to come to my business? Let's say I'm selling a business and I'm using an influencer who has 20 followers. How will I get more? Because I'm not just depending on these 20,000 followers. I need more people to come in. And this is where
what is your main source of like traffic? It's social media.
No,
where are you going to get
But you know,
where are you going to
something
get
to
20,000 people to see your product?
Something to
Apart from
that
social
is,
media.
that is marketing.
Obviously,
Okay.
it's not billboard right now.
It's not billboard.
That's why we are talking about trend.
But something to trend is something that people have already used, and they are saying, okay, I heard from this person, and true, it works.
Yeah.
And then the other person will say, he or she heard from me, it's true, it works. Why? How did this person hear? Because I was talking about the product online, right?
I was reading a book by the name
back to what I
Contagious.
was saying before social media. This is how recommendation was working.
And till today, recommendation are working that way. You know, I would prefer something that
So something
You
cannot
must-
go viral
I will
if
prefer something.
it's not of good quality.
That's true.
Exactly.
don't-
That's the
that-
point.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
Nowadays,
I-
quality is not the product itself; it's the packaging.
No, it's not even the packaging. For you to have a good package, can you pack a trash? You can pack something that is of low quality.
We are not saying that we sell
Obviously,
low quality
your product is the best you can produce at the moment. You need, after producing the best quality, you need to work on the packaging. So packaging comes after producing the best thing.
But nobody will buy your product if nobody knows about it.
And this is where, that's why in every organization we have systems. It's called not organization, but a business is a system of systems.
The
marketing,
system,
yeah,
there is a marketing part.
yeah,
right?
and
But
marketing
this
part is system.
marketing part, what helps it to come up with that data?
Now the marketing part, you know, when we talk of business, we are talking of system. When we talk of marketing, we are talking of smaller system inside the big system. So, because we also have the finances, we also have all these people. We have different departments.
Yeah.
So marketing is a different department, and every department is trying to its level best to ensure that everything goes well.
Let me ask you a question.
Before you ask me a question, do you know why things trend?
Yeah, because people like it.
And
people
why
are engaging.
Why do they trend? My question is, why
Because
do they trend?
attention.
What leads to the trending?
Attention. We are talking about attention. If people give something attention, right now attention is the most valuable.
Okay, right now I know nothing about something. How will I get there? How will I get to know about that thing? You will come and
Social
tell me.
media.
Social media. This is people passing messages.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, I can watch a video on social media talking of something, let's say a product, but I won't just listen to that social media because I'm not paying too much attention. We have a lot of videos on social media. But Mr. Boniface will recommend something. Hey bro, have you tried that yogurt? Which yogurt? I had this on a certain person. I had this one from another person. Then the same day, you come and tell me about the same yogurt. I will be like, I need to try this. And if I try the yogurt and find out that this yogurt is superb, I will recommend this thing. And that's how things get trending.
Let me tell you. You know, when if I recommend to you a product, it might not be that good, it might not be the best product, but if I tell you about a certain yogurt in the market, and then he tells you about the same thing, then we will say, that yogurt is sweet, it's different.
But before you continue, can I ask him a question?
I just gave an example of yogurt. I just gave an example of yogurt.
From your example, when you are marketing that thing, what are you doing?
I'm not marketing the yogurt. I'm just a consumer who
No,
you recommended.
you are talking about the system, right?
Mhm.
And
That one now, we
and-
need
and
now.
you're putting it outside there. Okay. Before even I take this yogurt so that I can recommend to the other person.
Mhm.
But what are you doing that time? In the part that is the advertising department, right? Will be
So that is
putting
the
it
marketing
outside,
department.
right? Yes.
Now,
But
this
what,
is where
what will the marketing department be doing to the public? They will be recommending the product.
and
So
before the marketing
so
department recommends the product. Before the marketing department recommends the product, there is other departments which need to work on the product to ensure that this thing is consumable. Like it won't cause any harm. It is of the best quality that we can produce with everything that we have.
and we already discussed and we agreed something to go viral is of good quality.
And I said of quality, but you
See,
people,
see,
you are
let me
talking of.
let me add
Why
something.
are you going back?
What we are saying, if you have a video, you can have two videos. One video is there's two different videos, but they are talking about the same thing.
So back to
Right.
filming.
But one video,
Yeah.
they have added something. They have brought in creativity. They have been there's creativity. Maybe they have added a trending song. Maybe they have there's
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
more creative.
Yeah.
So which
this comes to
video will perform
creativity.
better?
This comes to creativity, whereby, let's say I'm just using a random song. Maybe I'm just talking, advertising my product by only saying you need to drink this yogurt, you need to drink this yogurt, you need to drink this yogurt. But another person will take his yogurt of the same type, blah blah blah, and say and put the song that you're talking about, or maybe
Actually,
take the person who wrote that song, or the person who the artist of that song drinking the yogurt while singing the song. Of course, people will come to purchase the product. This is something you're not supposed to talk about.
The thing
Influencers.
right now,
Mhm.
I think the most creative people, this is the time they will be most rewarded, because people want to see something new, right? Something new.
Yeah.
If I compose a song, and I take a song, a popular song, then I add my creative part, that song will be completely new, right? Or for example, there's a film. You right now you can even shoot a movie with your phone. People will watch the movie as long as they see the creative part. They see it.
Yeah, your creativity.
That's why I'm saying you can have 10 followers and you display your creativity. You will be rewarded, right? Not like before you had to follow so many procedures. You have to buy a camera. You'll have to do so many things. Right now you can be creative. It's easier. It's easier.
Yeah.
Like
to be creative,
because you're talking about creativity.
And oh my God, yeah. Let me agree with that. Let me agree with that. So Boniface was saying something, and do you know McDonald's? There was something that was called McRib. Yeah, McRib, and this thing, they used a lot of money to advertise this product, but it never went to public like the way it did after these people made it. Like less consume. How will I put this? They eliminated this from their menu. They eliminated from their menu, and they made it scarce. So when they made it scarce, they were just issuing the McRib in different areas. Like today, because McDonald's started there in USA, and yeah. So maybe today they were in a different city. The other time it was in different city. The other time it was in different city. So due to scarcity, this thing had to trend. The McRib started trending. People opened the Twitter pages. Facebook was saying, "No, where can I find McRib?" Because they made it scarce. It all depends with the creativity. So the person who was working in the marketing part, they said, why can't we just implement this idea? So the guy became more creative and say, if we use this strategy, it will get the market having more consumers than before. Before they were spending a lot of money, and they did not change anything in the menu, in the ingredients. They did not change the size. They did not lower the prices. Same prices, same ingredients and everything. The recipe was the same, but when they introduced the scarcity idea, this thing gained popularity and people started consuming it, and they added it in their menu. So it all depends on the creativity. Because the trend that is trending, why is it trending? Because this guy is being creative.
We like things that are not available to everyone.
Yeah, things that are scarce.
Yeah. If I have something I want to buy and it's available always, I will not have the urge. But if for example, it's a shop, they say only 5 left.
Because
I will want to
everybody,
buy.
likes, as you were saying, everybody likes something that is not with a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why when you
have to feel like the insider.
When you are creating, you create something that has not. You have added your part, like a creative part. You have something new. You see, you have a new product, and that's what people like nowadays. Nowadays, when you are scrolling, for example, when you are scrolling, you just want to find something new, something you have not watched. You are just scrolling. But when you find something new, you want to see.
I think that one happens with those people whose hobby is watching TikTok. Because for me, if I'm reading a book,
but also
everyone
anyway,
if you're not on TikTok, you are somewhere else.
No.
Also in a book, also it will determine with the kind of readers. They will still come up with new ideas of writing, new ways of writing.
Yeah, new ways of writing. So let's say I'm reading a book and I need to get a concept. I cannot say I'm just going page by page looking for something that is more maybe nice looking or something. So it depends with where you are doing that stuff. So thank you all. I appreciate you for coming, and due to time, we'll end this. So I think every one of us have something that you can take from us, and I think Mr. Boniface can start.
Hello everyone. From today's topic, I can say we discussed a lot, even though we went a little bit off topic, but at least we can gather up something from what we talked about, because we talked about more marketing, and maybe somewhere he's trying to start a business and maybe he doesn't know how, or she doesn't know how to go about it. Maybe from the way we discussed about the trending, on focusing on the trends, maybe you can start something afresh by looking at the trends that are going on, and maybe you can improve on your business. So again, thank you for continuing watching us, and we appreciate your support. So in case of anything, we like to see, leave us with a comment, and we'll see how we can move forward from there. Thank you.
We have talked about creativity, but we ended up talking about marketing.
Creativity in marketing.
Creativity in marketing. But the whole point, like for me, as we finish up, I think we should push ourselves to take advantage of this era we are in, because creativity is the time. This is the time when creativity is, you can be rewarded mostly in any field. Is film, photography, any field. Like, let's just push ourselves to be creative. We can be lazy and creative at the same time. So tell us what you feel about creativity in the comment section. Share your thoughts. What have you been doing creatively? What are you trying to do in the future maybe? And we can exchange our views and our opinions.
Yeah, so when it comes to that matter of creativity, I think someone should be more creative on coming up with a machine that can wash utensils first.
There's already
no.
Which one?
The one that is not that much expensive.
Anyway, you are living in 1700.
Follow us on our social media platforms at Desert Vibes Ambassadors, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at Desert Vibes Ambassadors. We really appreciate you all. Thank you. So share comments. Yeah.